Okay, this is recording. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, everyone. I'm here again. Sorry, I've been so busy playing a bit, but so busy with the university. But today, I'm going to read another chapter of the book, Officially Dead, written by Richard Prescott. Uh, if you can remember, because I don't, the last chapter was about the robbery that took place in the Sandwell's shop. This is Linda's boyfriend or husband, I can't remember. The man that is dead, but is not dead. And at the end of that chapter, uh, Linda left Sandwells for the last time. So finally, she left the the job. So let's go to the point. Chapter 13, the truth. On the Thursday evening, despite being tired after a long day's work, Julie Fenton decided to do some housework. She began by picking up the newspaper and magazine, which lay all over the house. Then she started to clean her bedroom. Unwashed clothes lay in a big pile on a chair. She washed them and dried them. Then she folded them and put them back on the chair, ready to iron. In one of the drawers in the bedroom, Julie kept her personal documents, bank statements, receipts, her passport, etc. etc. She wanted to check a couple of the bank statements. She pulled open the drawer and she took out the documents to start sorting them. It was then that she saw something that gave her a bad shock. Under a pile of documents was Colin's passport. And if Colin's passport was in the drawer, then he couldn't have left the country. He couldn't have left the country without the passport. So he hadn't abandoned her. He must have had an accident. Perhaps he was lying ill or unconscious somewhere. Julie sat down on the bed. Then she remembered what Mark Ashwood had told her. On the day of Colin's disappearance, Mark had been driving north near Thame when he had seen a fatal accident. That was at about 10:30 p.m. Other people say they had seen Colin at a service area on the M4 earlier the same evening. What if Colin had been involved with this John Bentley, the man that Mark Ashwood had talking about? You realized she needed to speak to Mark Ashwood again. She hurried downstairs, hoping that she hadn't thrown away Mark's business card. After a minute, she found it in the kitchen, among some letters that were lying on top of the fridge. She picked up the phone and called Mark's number immediately. "This is Julie Fenton," she said when Mark answered. "I'm glad you phoned," Mark said. "I need to talk to you," said Julie. "I've thought about what you say. You could be right. Perhaps the man you saw die was my husband. I need to find out as much as possible about that man's death. Perhaps it's better if we met," Mark said. "Can you come to Stratford tomorrow?" "Yes," Julie said. "I'm busy in the morning, but I can be with you by 2:30 if that's okay." "That's fine," Mike replied. "The address is on my card." The following morning, Julie got up very early. She did about 5 hours work before driving to Stratford upon Avon. It was a clear, cold, sunny day. The journey took about 2 hours. Mark made some coffee. Then he and Julie sat in his living room, drinking from small china cups. Mark described the accident once more. Why don't you think Colin had Bentley's document? And why was driving Bentley's car? She asked when Mark had finished speaking. I wish I knew, Mark replied. I went to see Bentley's wife. Of course, I expected her to be called Julie. I felt foolish when I found out that her name was Linda. But that wasn't the only surprising thing. There was a man in the house. I only saw him for a moment, but he looked exactly like your husband. What are you saying? Julie exclaimed. Well, obviously it wasn't Colin, Mark said. Then who was it? I could have been John Bentley, Mark said. I'm sure that he and your husband had exchanged identities on that day in January. I don't know why, but they were able to do it because they were doubles. They looked just like each other. There was a silence. Julie looked through. Then she said quietly, there must have been a funeral. Yes, I suppose you're right. It won't be hard to find out if there was a funeral for someone called John Bentley in the Brentwood area in the weeks after the accident. Julie thought that there was something deeply wrong about all this. Colin had died, but there was no official record of his death. Someone else, some strange woman, had taken Colin from her, had given him a new name, and had him buried or cremated. This is horrible, Mark, she said. I'm sorry, Mark said. I really am sorry. I won't rest until I've given Colin back his own name, Julie said. Will you help me? Mark looked at the sad woman who was sitting next to him. Yes, I will help you, he said. Let's go for a walk. It's a sunny day. We can talk some more and decide what to do next. The small town of Stratford was peaceful that afternoon. They walked along the banks of the river above. A woman and two children were throwing pieces of bread to the sons and dogs on the river. Julie and Mark sat on a bench, looking at the river. There were huge willow trees on the far bank. In a few weeks' time, there will be new green leaves on them. There will be new life everywhere. It's time for me to start a new life too, Mark, Julie said, looking at the trees. But first, I have to go and see this woman, this Linda Bentley. She's the only person who can give me the answer that I need before I can start my new life. And there is a photo of them on the park. I will come with you, Mark said. I can take you to where she lives. All right, Julie said, but can we go now? Mark looked at his watch. It was 4:45. If they left immediately, they could be in London by 6 or 6:30. Come on then, he said. We'll take my car. Oh, and that is how the chapter ends. I can't believe it. I need to read another one. Yeah. I hope you enjoy this and see you in the next one.